was one of those great nights. It was in Ohio.
Twilight is the first book of the Twilight Saga series by Stephanie Meyer. Bella Swan, a 17-year-old girl, moves in with her dad in Forks, Washington. As soon as she laid eyes on Edward Cullen, her life changed completely. The Cullen family were so beautiful she couldn't help but staring. Bella and Edward's relationship at first was awkward. She soon discovers he is a vampire from urban legends in La Push, a nearby reservation. Even though Edward tells her to stay away, she finds any excuse to be near him. Their relationship strengthens, and she finally begins to realize that her life is in danger because of her being with the Cullens.
It rained for just a little.
Stephanie Meyer's Eclipse is the third book in the Twilight series. In this fictional series, an average teenage girl named Bella falls in love with the mythical, mysterious vampire Edward Cullen. They undergo many challenges, from fighting wars with other vampires to having half-human, half-vampire children. In this particular book, an angry vampire, Victoria, is seeking revenge to kill Edward's mate for Edward killing her mate. She creates an army of newborn vampires desiring to massacre Bella and the Cullen family. In the midst of it all, she is forced to choose between her love for Edward and her friendship with Jacob, knowing that her decision has the potential to trigger struggles between the vampires and the werewolves. When the Cullens discovered Victoria's plan, they joined forces with the werewolf pack on a nearby reservation. The conjoining of these two groups is bittersweet. Although the werewolves and the Cullens have always been enemies, they must work together in order to protect their communities and themselves. In the end, they defeat and kill Victoria and her army of newborns. The Cullens and the werewolves form a new alliance to keep the peace.
I'm in Ohio on some steps.
Two-Way Street by Lauren Brandhill is about a senior relationship when the boyfriend Jordan breaks up with his girlfriend Courtney. Jordan and Courtney planned a road trip towards their colleges together. They planned a trip when they were still a couple, and it was too late to cancel hotel reservations. Before Courtney and Jordan met, Jordan walked in on his mother kissing a man who was not his father. When Courtney and Jordan started going out, Jordan met Courtney's parents and realized that the man kissing his mother was Courtney's dad. After a couple of months, Courtney's dad forced Jordan to break up with Courtney in order to protect the secret of the affair. Jordan had created the lie that he was interested in the girl that he met on the internet. If Jordan had just told Courtney the truth in the beginning, Courtney's heart would have not been broken and they would be happy. Eventually, Courtney and Jordan reunited and began college together. In the autobiography Soul Surfer, Bethany Hamilton, a 13-year-old girl destined for a successful surfing career, lost her arm to a tiger shark. Although, Bethany did not lose hope of becoming a professional surfer yet. Instead, it inspired her to overcome the loss of her arm and to get back out in the water. Bethany's true story. The conflict in Twilight is person versus person because Bella does not know where Edward is. All she knows is that he is not human. Conflict in Eclipse is person versus society because Victoria is after the Cullens. This affects the whole community. The conflict in Two-Way Street is person versus person because Courtney and her boyfriend are planning to go on a road trip together, although they are no longer a couple. Another conflict is person versus self because Jordan is keeping a secret from Courtney. The conflict in Soul Surfer is person versus self because Bethany lost her arm, which affects her career as a professional surfer.
But I miss her calling, calling, man, don't you hear me? Trouble call. But I miss her calling, man, hope you didn't come to disturb.
The theme in Twilight was to not judge someone right away. After Bella discovered Edward was a vampire, she could have never spoken to him again, but instead, she learned more and realized that he was a safe vampire.
Through all those troubled times, just be
Major theme in Eclipse was to come together with your enemies for the greater good of the community. Because the Cullen family united with their enemies, the werewolves, they defeated Victoria and protected their society.
love is a heavy, heavy load.
The major theme in Two-Way Street is to tell the truth. If Jordan had told Courtney that their parents were having an affair, then Courtney could have tried to work it out with her mom and prevent her father from cheating on her again.
But I miss her calling, man, hope you didn't come to disturb.
The theme in Soul Surfer is to make the best with what you have. Even though Bethany lost her arm, she reinvented herself and is still surfing today.
Sincere.
All of the characters in these 4 books are similar because they develop throughout the story. For example, in Twilight, Bella gained the courage to live around vampires. In Eclipse, Bella also learned that putting the people you love before you is important. In Two-Way Street, Jordan learned that he needs to always tell the truth. In Soul Surfer, Bethany discovered the strength to surf again.
On the surface it stinks. I see something on the surface, well it kinda makes me nervous. Who say that you deserve this and what kind of...
However, Bella from the novels Eclipse and Twilight and Two-Way Street's Courtney compared the most because they were both in love and had the potential of heartbreak.
Liaison, assist the comedy. Is that a serious? This is a strange enough new play on words. I said the tragedy is how you're gonna spend.
I enjoyed reading Two-Way Streets, however, the plotline was hard to relate to. I recommend Twilight and Eclipse to someone who enjoys reading about mythical creatures that are beautiful and suspenseful. I recommend Two-Way Streets to people who like love stories. I recommend Soul Surfer to people who are looking to be inspired by an intelligent girl.
I won't worry my life away.
My favorite book was Eclipse because it had a fascinating plotline which captured my attention.
Well, I heard 2 men talking on the radio in a crossfire kind of new reality show, uncovering the ways to plan the next big attack while they were counting down the ways to stab the brother.